Hey guys, welcome to Connecting the Dots, the podcast where we follow the breadcrumbs and try to predict where disruptions will take us. If you haven't done that already, please subscribe to the channel and smash that like button to support it. It really means a lot. Wednesday will be Tesla's Q3 earnings call. So before the numbers arrive, let's go over an analysis I made for the gross margin we should expect on Tesla's newer cars, the Model Y and the Made in China Model 3. The analysis will be pretty detailed. So for those of you in a hurry, here's the bottom line. Tesla's Model Y and the Made in China Model 3 will have an obscene gross margin of well over 40%. Scratch that. Well over 50%. The overall gross margin includes older lines, so it will be lower. But since in Q3 the newer cars were produced in record numbers, Tesla should have an insane automotive gross profit. With Model Y ramping up in Fremont and China, adding a third shift for Model 3, Q4 gross profit should be completely bonkers. Long term, Tesla will dominate everyone else. Its stock should go to the moon, and the end of the internal combustion engine is even sooner than we expected. All that, and I didn't even mention the cost savings that Cybertruck and Battery Day technologies will bring. Oh wait, I just did. So the bottom line is obscene margins. And if you're in a hurry, I hope to meet you in the next video. But to be honest, I could be pulling these numbers out of my behind. So if you want to see what well over 40 or 50% means, how I validated these numbers, and what the implications are, let's buckle up and get ready. I promise you, it won't be boring. On June 12th, 2020, Tesla enthusiast Ray for Tesla tweeted and translated a post from Chinese technology media outlet Sina Technology about the Made in China Model 3 gross margin and buying demographics. Back then, Model 3 SR Plus price in China was 271,550 yuan, and Sina Technology posted that the car cost Tesla 188,700 yuan to build, which leaves a gross profit of 82,850 yuan, or a 39.37% gross margin. In the automotive sector, 20% is considered a pretty good gross margin for ICE cars, and EVs are usually produced at a loss. So Tesla having almost 40% is a huge thing. Great catch by Ray, so kudos to him, and the tweet deserved to make headlines. Still, two things bugged me. One, why does Sina say 39.37% when the numbers they provide give a gross margin of only 30%? Gross margin is gross profit divided by revenue, which gives 30%. That's kick-ass by itself, but far from the almost 40% that Sina posted. More importantly, what is Tesla's actual gross margin on these cars? Is it 30%, 40%, or maybe something else? For long-term investors like me, knowing gross margin is extremely important. So let's check what it is. We'll start with the early Model 3, then check how prices changed for the newer models. When Sandy Munro tore down an early Model 3, he was full of criticism of its build quality, which at first he labeled as junk. But when he dug deeper and analyzed the car's electronics, he was smitten. In this interview, he described its circuit boards like a symphony of engineering. If you want to hear that, there's a link in the description below. But how much does this symphony cost? Let's hear what Sandy had to say on this to John McElroy of Autoline Network. While watching, notice John's reaction when he hears the number.
Okay, you've done the whole report now.
Yes.
You've gone through the body, the electronics, the battery.
Right.
What's your big walk-away conclusion about the Model 3?
The Model 3 is profitable. So I have the e-Crow. I didn't think it was going to happen this way, but the Model 3 is profitable.
Okay, you say profitable, but
Over
what kind of
30%.
Over 30%?
Over 30%.
So nobody in the auto industry is getting 30% now, are they?
Yes, they are, but not in the electric field. No electric car is getting 30% net. Nobody.
So Sandy's big walkaway from the Model 3 was that although he did not think it would be profitable, Tesla surprised him, and it's more than profitable. It has outstanding gross margin of 30%. When discussing Sina Technology's post, we said the numbers they gave spelled a 30% margin, and Sandy just confirmed this number is indeed achievable. But that's for the early Model 3, which was very inefficiently built. In the 2.5 years since then, Tesla fixed the design and streamlined the production process with things like mega castings. Its economies of scale got much bigger, and all that in a new industry that's riding a declining cost curve. So yeah, right off the bat, my gut feeling would be that 40% that Sina talked about is very achievable for newer models. But whenever possible, I tend to avoid relying on gut feelings because, as tempting as 40% might sound, is it the real margin? Let's go on. So Sandy said that 30% for the early Model 3. But which version does this apply to? He tore down a performance model, but did he refer to that or the lineup in general? Let's look at another video from half a year later, where Sandy talks about the teardown in Autoline After Hours.
Okay, so the first thing is, I believe that based on our numbers and everything else, that they should be able to do over 30% gross,
Gross profit.
Gross profit.
And what is that in the context of?
But there's one
Of
thing
another
I don't
car.
know. I don't know. I've never been in that factory. People have sent me little snippets of video that they've released.
Doesn't tell you anything.
Doesn't tell you a thing. There's some guy sent me. Oh, you got them all. That's
I
right.
got-
We all got them.
And
And I said thanks, but there's nothing here. But at the end of the day, I need to see what that factory looks like before I can do anything. People throw money at this, that, and the next thing. I need to know. The only way I would know is if I was there. And I'm not going there anytime soon, I'm pretty sure. So all I can do is look at the car, and if it was manufactured even halfway close to where a normal car company would be, that's what it should be.
Sandy repeats what we already know, that the early Model 3 should have over 30% gross margin, and adds that this is assuming Tesla manufactures the car even halfway close to how a normal car company would do that. The Shanghai production line looks way more streamlined than the new BMW M4 line I recently saw, so I think Tesla is now more efficient than other OEMs and should do much better than 30%. But I think is just a gut feeling, and we want hard numbers to base our investments on. So let's go on.
And then we look at the other thing, this low-cost vehicle. The low-cost vehicle, we took a stab at it. Actually, a lot of the people that are buying or have bought the Tesla report, the Tesla Model 3 report, are asking, well, what's it going to cost? I mean, where did you come up with the 18%, blah, blah? Can you give us a report on that? And so consequently, we're cranking that out right now, actually today.
So 18%, you mean 18% gross margin
margin.
on the base $35,000 model.
$35,000.
If they ever build one.
Or 37,000.
Or, okay, 37.
Anyways, at the end of the day, it is 35 now, isn't it? He took $2,000 off everything. But anyways, at the end of the day.
But it doesn't
okay,
exist, so.
It doesn't
Not that one
exist.
yet.
But you know what? There's enough hints, and we know how people decontent. We do that kind of work too. We know how you're going to be building up or tearing down a vehicle. So I kind of know what we're going to have.
Now we have some real data. Sandy said that his analysis shows that Tesla would be making an 18% margin on a bare bones $37,000 SR or SR Plus. So on $37,000, over $30,300 were costs of building the car, and almost $6,700 remained as profit. Sandy's calculations were before the SR and SR Plus were actually sold, but specs were already announced, and Sandy calculated and decontented accordingly. We don't know whether he calculated for SR or SR Plus, but that's not important because most differences in specs between the models are in software. For example, both models share the same battery pack, but the SR's range is software limited. The main differences in hardware are that the SR Plus has fog lights and slightly better trim. Let's assume the cost to make these is $700. So even if Sandy calculated for the SR, the costs of building an SR Plus should be around $31,000. SR Plus prices fluctuated a lot at first, then stabilized at $39,900 for a long time. Using these figures leaves an $8,900 gross profit on the SR Plus, which gives a 22% gross profit. So 18% for the SR and 22% for the SR Plus. But these are early Fremont-made cars. Let's continue to the newer stuff and see how much the made-in-China cars should cost. Let's hear what Sandy has to say about this.
So I kind of know what we're going to have, and our customers are jumping up and down, especially some of your analyst friends. They normally don't spend much money on anything, and a couple of them are saying, well, we need to have real numbers, real facts. Can you give us something? So we're going to do that. But you know what really started the ball rolling was, hey, Tesla's going to make this in China. What's the cost of that vehicle? Okay, so Elon made a few mistakes on that body. Think he's going to do it again? I don't. You think that his production line is going to look like he was got in California? I don't. You think he's going to pull those batteries in and have a lump of failures? I don't. I think the factory in China is going to be wicked compared to what they've got in the States, and I think he's going to be able to clobber everybody in China that wants to come up against him. That's where, and so people are saying now, well, if you do, can you do this? Can you take the can you take the existing car and figure out what it's going to be in China? Can you tell us what that car is going to cost? And so that was at like last year, at the end of last year and whatnot. So I had all this time to think about it during the holidays, and now I've got a plan, and we actually put it in place today. We're going to do the costing for what a China Tesla 3 was going to cost, and we're doing the costing on the 37 or whatever.
So back of the envelope, rule of thumb.
Oh, no.
No.
This is the
No.
details.
I know you're going to do that. What I'm asking you right now is, how much cost do you think that they could pull out of it, out of a Model 3? Couple of grand?
In the States?
No, in China. When you get a chance to do it,
wow.
not necessarily clean sheet, but you can clean up a lot of
I'll
things.
bet you dollars to donuts, the body and white's a clean sheet.
Oh, interesting. So how much cost do you think you could pull out?
Easy, 20%.
Oof.
Easy.
Wow.
And that's normal. That doesn't count if I can get rid of the ugliness on that body in white. I mean, I think that there's a couple $300 that could come out of that body in white.
So Sandy thinks the Shanghai factory is going to be wicked compared to what they've got in the States. And the videos coming from Tesla China show exactly that. And Sandy thinks that Tesla is going to clobber everybody in China. And this year's delivery results show exactly that. And Sandy also thinks that Tesla can easily pull out 20% of the cost of the Fremont car, plus another couple of $300 if they tidy up the body in white. This is where things start to get interesting. We saw that an early Fremont SR Plus cost $31,000 to produce. Taking that easy 20% off gets us to $24,800, and taking the other couple of $300 off leaves us with a production cost of only $24,200 to build the made-in-China SR Plus. A few months after local production of the Model 3 began, Tesla slashed the Model 3's price from 355,800 yuan to 299,050 yuan, or from around 50,000 to 42,500. So let's take April 2020 and $42,500 as our baseline and work from there. Subtracting production cost of $24,200 leaves Tesla a gross profit of $18,300, a whopping 43%. Hold it. You think 43% is whopping? Think again. After finishing all calculations, I realized a huge mistake that I made. SR Plus price was indeed 299,050 yuan, but that's after a government subsidy. This means that on top of the $42,500 Tesla buyers pay, Tesla gets another $3,520 from the Chinese government. Let's redo the math. The actual price Tesla gets for the car is $46,020. The production cost remains $24,200. So for each made-in-China SR Plus, the gross profit is $21,820, and the gross margin, 47.4%. And that's for a bare-bones car. Add options or go to a higher-up model, and the margin gets even higher. Want red multi-coat paint? The margin just jumped to 49.6%. Also, add full self-driving? The gross margin just became 56.8%. Let's check what happens with higher-up versions. In April 2020, the base price of a made-in-China long-range rear-wheel drive Model 3 was 339,050 yuan, or $48,190, which along with the subsidy becomes around 51,700. Going from SR Plus to LR, the battery capacity jumps by 21 kilowatts hours, from 54 to 75 kilowatts hours. And according to Sandy Munro, Tesla's battery cost is about $108 per kilowatts hour. So this means that the LR's battery costs only $2,268 more than the SR Plus's. Neglecting other differences, the LR should cost $26,468 to build, leaving a gross profit of $25,232 and a gross margin of 48.8%. Upgrade wheels, paint, interior, and add full self-driving, and the gross margin becomes obscenely high. You might be thinking, big deal using April prices, when the current price was slashed to only 249,900 yuan. I'm pretty sure that with lowering costs, Tesla wanted to pass some of the cost reductions to its customers while keeping similar margins. But let's ignore that and check how the math works. The price in dollars is 35,516. Adding the subsidy gives a real price of 39,034. The cost remains unchanged at 24,200. This means that even the improbable scenario that Gordon Johnson is right and Tesla reduced price due to a demand problem without lowering costs, the profit margin is still an amazing 38%. And that's for the cheapest Tesla with no options whatsoever. 38%! Eat that, Gordon! Let's go back to America. Model 3's production lines in Fremont are older and less streamlined than in China, have higher labor costs, and most of all, have no subsidy. So yeah, the gross margin of Fremont Model 3s should only be partially better today than Sandy suggested 2.5 years ago. But Model Y lines are new and should be at least as efficient as the Chinese Model 3 line. Labor cost is higher than in China, but production is highly automated, so doesn't use too much labor, and the price hike from Model 3 to Model Y is about the same as the subsidy. But don't take my word on Model Y being less costly to produce than Model 3. Sandy says it better. Make sure to notice not only what he says, but also how he says it.
But what we do have that I've been allowed to print and whatnot is the side-by-side between the Tesla Model Y and the Model 3. And the results are shocking. There's a big, giant difference between the cost of the Model 3 in 2017 and 2018 and this Model Y in 2020. And the cost went down significantly.
Clearly, Sandy is impressed. He said they can take an easy 20% off the Model 3 cost when they set a new line in China, but what he found is more than easy, and the results are shocking. There's a big giant difference between the cost of the Model 3 in 2018 and the Model Y in 2020, and the cost went down significantly. I also made a sanity check to show how this calculation manifests itself in the gross margin results in Tesla's previous quarterly numbers, but the video is getting too long as it is, so let me know if you want me to show it in another video. For now, let's see what a 50% gross margin means going forward. Number 1. In a few days, Tesla will announce its Q3 earnings report. Since in Q3, Model Y and Made in China Model 3s were produced in record numbers, this gross margin should translate into a very high automotive gross profit. Number 2. With Model Y ramping up in Fremont and China adding a third shift for Model 3, Q4 gross profit should be completely bonkers. Number 3. Tesla will dominate everyone else. Remember, others are barely breaking even on EVs, but no matter what price they manage to get, Tesla can go much lower with a better car. Number 4. The end of the ICE age is closer than ever before. Number 5. Nothing I say is investment advice, and always do your own homework. But as far as myself, I'm certain that for long term, Tesla stock should go to the moon. I'm long Tesla and put everything I could where my mouth is. That's it, I guess. I'll thank you briefly, but stick with me because there's an important PS. Thank you for watching. Please write your thoughts in the comments below. Can Tesla's gross profit on the newer models really be this high? If so, what does it mean? Do other companies even stand a chance? I'd love to hear your opinion, and I appreciate any suggestions you might have for topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. I read all your comments and answer all questions. If you found this video interesting, please smash that like button to help me grow the channel and consider subscribing to get notified on my next videos. As always, I am connecting the dots and you are amazing. But I promised a PS, so here it is. PS, do you want to hear a joke? The profit number on newer Teslas is around 50%, which is huge, but that's before the even more amazing cost savings that battery day technologies will bring. Think about it for a second. Want to hear an even funnier joke? Cybertruck should crush costs even more. Think about this too. I said these are jokes, but you know I'm not kidding. And if you're an OEM, then clearly you're not laughing. So I put a link for incontinence underwear in the video description below. If you're an OEM, I'm pretty sure you'll need them.